Yeah, I mean, really just the main thing without even going into all of that, like that right there is a big why, right? And your why is really so important and so critical. And just like Toby was able to discover his purpose, the main thing for our organization is to make sure that people realize that you have a purpose. So everybody is here because they have a purpose. If you didn't have a purpose, you wouldn't be here. I mean, that's what purpose really means. So the whole point of the organization is not just to get you to discover what your purpose is, but how do you actually develop it and how do you actually dwell in it? That's what we're really about. And on that standpoint, we have a few points that we want to give you guys on how you guys can actually start moving towards that. I'm not saying you're going to have your purpose by the end of this video, but we just want to give you that. I'm not trying to give you that guarantee at all, but we just want to give you a few points on how you can actually start moving towards that direction.
All right, so first and foremost, what you want to do is you want to understand the importance of why you need to know your purpose, right? Because most people are like, don't really care. This is the thing. Abraham Maslow did this thing called the hierarchy of needs, real quick, and he said that where he put every need of the human being in order, in order of importance, he stacked them things up, right? So what he said, what was different from him is what other people did is they put them like at odds with each other. Like this one is greater than this one is greater than this one. What he did is he made a continuum where he said as you morally and mentally develop, that you'll understand the highest need of the human being, which was to become in actuality what you are in potentiality. Which means that as you morally and mentally develop, you understand that everything that you have on the inside of you is a necessity like food, water, shelter, all that other type of stuff for the human body. That's the greatest need of the human being. That's why you can have people like Jay-Z who are at the top of the peak, the top of the rap game, who continuously do what they need to do because they continuously feel like they have stuff on the inside of them that they have to give to the world. Real quick, second is you want to get to a place where you can discover. Second of all, let's say this: you want to understand that there's two views to purpose. It's a two-headed monster, right? So there's a macro view and then there's a micro view. Everybody understands the macro view, the big esoteric meaning of what all did my life stand for? What all did it mean? All that other type of stuff. But what people usually miss is the micro view of purpose, which is the small, mundane like steps towards the macro. So the small, mundane steps are easy to tap into. You just have to be really intentional about doing it. And it's a real practical thing. You don't got to be deep. You don't have to be extra. You don't have to be Buddha. You don't have to be Gandhi. You don't have to be Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. You can be an everyday person and tap into these things. And then third, you really want to discover what it is. Discover your calling description, right? So there's a difference between a job, a career, and then a calling, right? A job is something that when you think of it, you clock in to get some money, right? When you think of, and that's the extent of it. I need some money, McDonald's. Give me my money. A career, if you think of a place where you try to climb the ladder and get to the top. Like I started at the bottom, Drake. All right, so you think of that type of situation. When you think of a calling, you think of your greatest. You think of your greatest service to the world. You understand what I'm saying? A calling is not somewhere like where you go just for money. You think of what, like tapping into what your greatest gift is and giving that more so to the world. So those three things, and you tap into your calling description by literally discovering what your intrinsic and extrinsic goals are, and things of that nature. Like what are your gifts? What are you good at? What are your passions? Things of that nature will help you discover what your calling description is, and it's something that we're excited about. We created a curriculum on, and I don't want to do too much. Sorry, but those 3 points.
No,
I think that was just enough.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And the thing that I like so much, because I do want to piggyback on that, is that the idea of the calling, It's interesting because I actually go back and forth, because there's part of me that has been able to indulge in my calling. I feel like Mia's Closet, giving back and providing those events for kids, like that's what I've been called to do. But then there's also like the lower part of the hierarchy, which is like the needs part. Like you need to have a job, you need to be able to pay your bills, So I think there's just like this ongoing balance,
Of course.
That we're looking to achieve by having all of that. So I do want to say that when you're looking for your purpose, or if you're trying to define it, look for the balance in it. Because I think that one has to be careful about being so excited or so caught up that they miss the clarity of how you move forward. But I will say that nothing has been as fulfilling as Mia's Closet, hands down. Working with different organizations like you guys. I mean, and it's interesting because the event that we had today, we didn't work necessarily with kids one-on-one, but just the potential and being able to see the impact. Like my car literally is packed to the roof with donations.
Overflow.
Yeah, like we had to take 2 cars for donations, which is like huge because last year it was like my car packed to the rim. So like I said, I mean, just that increase, it really does say something about the awesome work that you guys are doing in the community.
Likewise.
So, thank you, man. So, for our viewers, let's let them know where they can find you guys.
Yeah, most definitely. Just real quick, the website, teamgini.org, and then on the social media blast.
You can follow us on Facebook. Well, you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter at Team Gini.